Progress Wrestling, Chapter 50. 5-0, folks. Man, we made it. We made it. Only like 150 or so more to go. But really an incredible milestone for this indie promotion there in Camden, London, England. We got a big landmark show here coming off one of the best tournaments of all time. We got debuts. We got titles on the line. We got Toni Storm. We got Pete Dunne. We got Dijak. We got... I'm running out of people that aren't canceled. But numero 50 is going to be a fun one. So you sit right there, It's the Apron Bump Podcast.
And the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get it started.
What's up, everybody? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I am, of course, your host, the hardest part of the ring, Kyle. How is everybody doing today? We ready for a little progress wrestling? Huh? I think maybe 50 and out. I'm gonna start saying progress instead of progress. I think I've grown enough. It's always like I've been wanting to start saying progress. But I feel like such a phony. It's like when you take I don't know, an Hispanic person to a Mexican restaurant and they're like, yeah, my name's Dave. Yeah, and I'll take the burrito. You know what I mean? Is that a sketchy way to start out? No, we got a fun one on our hands here. Progress 50, of course, the 50th installment of this promotion that we started, I don't know, 4 years ago or so. We've made it to number 50. Big time, big time. They never thought we'd make it. They never thought we'd make it this far, but we're here coming off of chapter 49, which was a huge, it was for the one preceding a major milestone. But chapter 49 was a banger of a show, banger of an episode, by the way. Go catch it if you have not already. Had the commentators from that show on to talk about it. RJ Singh, also a British wrestling legend, and Callum Leslie, who's a ginger. So had those two guys on, and but an equally fun one here, bringing back on Ross from Wrestling Should Be Fun. I've had him on several times throughout my journey and progress. I had him on for chapter 9, I believe it was, which was kind of in a lot of ways the beginning of progress. By the way, if you're jumping in colds and you're like chapter 9, chapter 50, chapter 49, chapter thumbing my ass, like, well, what's the deal with all these chapters, hardest part of the ring? Well, let me tell you something. I've covered every single chapter of Progress Wrestling from chapter 1 all the way through chapter 50. I've had British wrestlers on. I've had experts in Progress. I've had people who've never seen Progress before. I've had the whole gambit, all different perspectives, and it's been a journey seeing a lot of stars of today really get their start here, namely someone that we see on this show, Toni Storm. We also got British Strong Style on this show. You know, Will Ospreay has come through Progress. We're about to enter, I don't know how soon, but I know at some point we're going to enter the Gunther era or the Walter era of Progress. Among so many others, your Johnny Garganos, Ciampa, Zack Sabre Jr., like all the big names. Samoa Joe popped in for a second. It's a crazy promotion. It's been a lot of fun wrestling, a lot of fun character development and stories and crazy moments. So if you want to jump along that journey, I encourage you to start from the beginning. Chapter 1, where we walk through this together. I'm watching Progress for the first time as I do these episodes. I'm living through it in virtually real time with you. So you can go to the link in the description or go to apronbump.com, go to the episodes tab and select Progress Wrestling. And that'll bring you to all of the chronologically covered chapters that I've done so far. Of course, you can, on YouTube, go to the Progress playlist or whatever audio platform you're listening to on. Obviously, search out Progress and that'll bring you there. So do that. And I also don't want to glaze over my guest, Ross from Wrestling Should Be Fun. I'll put all of his info in the description below. They've taken a break from their podcast, the Wrestling Should Be Fun podcast. But it's a lot of evergreen stuff. I've been on it a few times, and they do a lot of fun segments and games that aren't always, topical stuff based. So it's worth a listen if you've not checked it out. Yeah, do that. Follow me as well at Apron Bump on all the social medias. Join the Discord. I think that about covers it. I think we might as well just dive right into it. We got the tag titles on the line in the main event. British Strong Style versus CCK, a debuting CCK, Kid Lycos and Chris Brooks. We got the winner of the Super Strong Style tournament that we covered in Chapter 49, Travis Banks taking on James Drake. We got Toni Storm defending the women's title. We got people puking in the ring. We got the anti-fun police. Oh man, how am I like however many minutes in and I haven't brought up that the police are here? We got the debut of the No Fun Police, Chief Deputy Dunne. My new sensation when there's fun happening in the ring, when there's condoms and dildos and water slides going on in that wrestling ring. You know what you hear? Oh man. Oh man. Holla if you hear me. Am I right? Or am I wrong, folks? That's not going to make a lot of sense to a lot of you if you're not aware, but don't you worry. We'll get into this right now. Progress Wrestling. Progress Wrestling. I don't know which one to use. Progress Wrestling. I'm going to say Progress Wrestling. No, I'm not. Progress Wrestling. Chapter 50. With myself and Ross from Wrestling Should Be Fun.
Half years, I think I did in total. Really a fun experience. Love doing it. Just life's getting in the way, unfortunately. But still a big fan and looking forward to getting back to being a proper fan without any of the understanding of politics and the madness that is pro wrestling.
Who did you hate over there? Who drove you out? So it was Tate Mayfair's, I bet, right? That cunt. Just kidding. I don't know. Maybe his owner. But yeah, man, Chapter 50. Who would have thought?
I'm really excited for the fact that you've managed to make 50.
Nobody thought I would. Nobody thought I would, but we're here. And
do you know how long I gave it?
How long? Oh,
6 months.
6 months. Look, come on. This guy's a professional. He's meant to do this. It's the title of this chapter. I give it 6 months. Were you a day one Progress viewer?
So my first chapter was chapter 13.
Okay.
Which was the chapter where Robbo turned on Osprey.
Right. Yeah, it feels like a whole other lifetime ago. And I think the first time you were on was chapter 9.
Correct, which was the Jimmy Havoc heel turn.
Yeah, which is like kind of the beginning of Progress in a lot of ways.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be up there with like one of the best moments of like the first 50, unless you have any that come to mind. Like when you think of the first 50 chapters of Progress, well, what comes to mind for you?
I think it kind of is the eras. I think 1 to 9 is that kind of bedding in era and like just getting to know all these new wrestlers in the garage at the time.
All right.
Then you've got the Havoc era. Then you've got the British Strong Style era. We're pretty much coming to the peak of that, I would argue, with the Ali Pali show that's about to head up.
We're in the Deputy Dunne era, I think, is where we are now. But
I bet you're excited for that debut.
I was goosed up when he came out, let me tell you. But I suppose we'll get there. But yeah, man, chapter 50. We are fresh off of the Super Strong Style 17, which was, I mean, an incredible tournament. I mean, the best I've seen so far in my run through. Do you have any recollections of that? The one that Travis Banks won?
Yeah, love that show. Obviously, first time seeing Jeff Cobb in a wrestling ring for me personally. That man impressed. He was He was something, huh?
Old JC Mateo, a
Yeah.
star.
Yeah.
Gotta love him.
I remember getting a photo with him at that show, and I was wearing shorts, and he was wearing shorts, and my legs looked so skinny.
He's a beefy boy. No, he was. I mean, him and Matt Riddle tore it down. That's genuinely one of my favorite Progress matches I think I've seen so far. Just really good stuff. I know he's like, I think in like this part of the timeline, I think he's starting to enter the New Japan kind of world. So I don't know if he sticks around, I don't know if he appears anymore in Progress.
I don't think he does until like he does some of the US tour stuff.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
But also from that show, the big thing for me was the final. I thought that Tyler Bate, Travis Banks was spectacular.
So I mean, I feel like the entire story of that tournament was done so well. Tyler had like a few easy ones, but also was able to prove himself. And then Travis had, beaten Jimmy Havoc in the first round, like taking that torch and then running with it. It was so good. So good.
Yeah, really good. And just to blow a bit of smoke up your ass, I really enjoyed the episode that you did with Callum and RJ for that.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was all of them. I was just here. I was just in the cuck chair by the side watching them do what they do. So, no, it's always a joy having those boys on. I guess I don't know, but yeah, man. So chapter 50, we I guess as a whole, this show kind of felt like it almost felt like a come down from the Super Strong style in a lot of ways. It kind of it feels like they're kind of paying homage to like some of the Progress originals too on this show, while progressing forward into like I guess a new era, as you would say. Overall thoughts on chapter 50?
Yeah, big time. I'll speak about it later, obviously, but kind of a strange pattern of the show where like the first three matches are all face v face. There's no real heat in any of the matches until like Dunne comes out for the fourth match. Obviously, he has the promo at the start, which could well be why they put that promo there, because they knew that, well, we're just going to have no heat for the opening hour and a half of this show.
Yep.
But yeah, the show itself, not the greatest show overall for a Progress show, but some standout matches, some cool moments, and if you're going to like be that kind of like Meltzer guy, I guess it's kind of a one match show, with the main event being the tearaway brilliant match of the night for me personally.
Yeah, I think I would definitely agree. There's definitely some interesting stuff that happens throughout the show, but I don't know. I guess we'll decide as we go through this if it feels good or bad. But yeah, Pete Dunne opens the show. Well, I guess Jim Smallman opens the show. As per usual, he's getting the crowd all goosed up, and then old Peter Dunne comes out, the Progress World Champion, also the NXT or the WWE UK Champion at this point, and he says that he refuses to defend the Progress Championship until Ali Pally, which is where Travis Banks is going to be challenging him. But then Jim Smallman's like, "Hey, wait, did you forget that I actually own this company and I can do what I want? And I can make you wrestle if I want to." So he basically says that he's going to have a non-title match tonight, but if he ever loses between now and the Palace, then he's going to have to defend the title against that person that beats him. And we'll find out who he faces later. But yeah, Pete Dunne coming in here, stepping on the Progress belts.
Yeah,
what do you think
that's
was
one of the
getting here?
main. That's one of the main takeaways that I took from this, was that really cool visual of a guy that is in his NXT jacket, proudly wearing the WWE title on his arm while simultaneously stepping on the Progress title. Perfect heel move. Like, yeah, love it. Like at this point, Progress were like really seen as a real deal.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they utilized that WWE kind of relationship at the start was quite clever, in that same way that Paul Heyman did, where you utilize yourself as the underdog whilst also taking the money from the guys that you're saying, you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I agree. It's like a cool visual. Like, I like the arc for Pete Dunne and all of British Strong Style, but it does kind of like is kind of like reality at a certain point. I feel like because like they are gonna fuck off the WWE eventually, and this kind of is a stepping stone for them. So
Yeah.
like, but it works for the time, I guess, and it makes you root for the guys that are allegedly staying there, like Travis Banks,
Yeah.
which he also goes to WWE. But
Yeah,
weird.
it's an interesting time for Progress Wrestling in general because you've got like Jim Smallman at the start with the whole, I give it 6 months. It's almost kind of a bit like patting themselves on the back about how well they're doing. And it's kind of becoming less kind of like underground punk. It's hard to like gauge that, isn't it?
Yeah, I know you said this like in one of our first episodes because I think I asked you something like how does progress, like how does it like feel like when it gets into the later years, and you said something about how like it became less about the stories and the characters and more about like how who can they get on the show, kind of thing. And I mean, we may or may not be at that point yet. I will say, like in general, you mentioned like the lack of heat in a lot of these matches, and I feel like there's just there's something missing from a character investment standpoint. Maybe it's because they started off so hot with the Jimmy Havoc stuff. Like, there's no way they're gonna reach that heat again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's really like paramount in that match that he's in. I think like Havoc's kind of creatively lost at this point.
I was very disappointed by how that ended. But again, we'll get to that, I suppose. But we'll start off with a positive for Progress. The women's title on the line, which
this match was great.
Was a great transition, by the way, from the intro of Pete Dunne being like, "I'm not going to defend my title," and then Jim's like, "Well, we'll show you somebody who will defend their world title."
Yeah.
The women's champion Toni Storm defending against Kaylee Ray. Man,
who at the time was ICW champion, which, like, kind of crazy that ICW allowed that match to happen.
Did ICW and Progress not like do stuff together, collaborate?
Not massively. Like, I guess they're competitors, like, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're all kind of individual. I mean, you have like Rev Pro champions come in and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just kind of rare that like, you would have your champion go up against another person's champion and be like, yeah, that's fine, you can beat them.
Right? Yeah, I suppose. But that being said, pretty damn good match here. I would say like in 2017, probably two of the best women's wrestlers in Europe at this point. I don't know if any others come to your mind. In terms of like bell to bell, I would put these two towards the top for sure.
In Europe, definitely. Yeah. Obviously in the States, there was the boom around that time, wasn't there? But in Europe, these two were killing it. And there's a reason that those two promotions that were very successful at that time put their gold on each of them. They're both incredible and still just doing their thing now, which is fantastic to see. My first note on this was just a single streamer for Kaylee Ray, which I felt quite bad about. But then it seemed to be a recurring theme. I think the person that brought it in just had one role and had to kind of everyone gets one.
It was just one person with streamers. You have to ration them out. You can't just be throwing them willy-nilly. Come on, man. But man, they're really good stuff here. And like it's because they would end up feuding in WWE and NXT UK. And I know a lot of that like their story was kind of like, oh, we've wrestled for so many years before this. So it's kind of, I know they've even at this point they've wrestled a lot. But it's cool to see kind of the origins of their feud here.
Yeah.
Again, it's a good match. It's two baby faces. Well, Kaylee Ray, it's like you never know when she shows up if she's going to be a heel or a baby face at this point. So I feel like that kind of takes away from like, oh, how do we react to her? And then Toni is like, people like Toni, but I feel like she's a relative, almost like this character. This version of Toni Storm is still pretty new at this point. So I feel like people are still kind of like getting to know her in a sense. So to your point, it was just like, oh, there's some two gals that I think we kind of like. Let's watch them wrestle. And it was good. It was solid work, but I feel like maybe there was a lack of heat. But I think ultimately this ended up being a pretty good match. Yeah,
there was a lack of heat, but there was certainly plenty of like babyface noise for both of them, which is great. Like a lot of times when you book babyface versus babyface, some fans kind of just sit on their hands because they don't want to feel like if I cheer one, it feels like I'm not cheering the other one. Whereas here, just that whole argument of guys just pick a side. It felt like that room just did, and it was kind of 50-50 throughout in the ring and also with the crowd. So it really matched kind of the match structure up that they put in, because both of these girls gave each other plenty, didn't they? There was some really cool spots. I really enjoyed the gory brom by Kaylee Ray. That looked absolutely brutal. I really enjoyed the headbutt block chop. I don't think I've ever seen that previously. That was a lot of fun.
It's clever. That's clever.
And also, obviously, we've seen in the past the likes of Ash Wheeler utilize a single finger rope break, and here Toni Storm used her tongue.
I think we're just getting the foreshadowing to her future very horny character. I think because she could have grabbed that rope, but she wanted to put a tongue on it. She wanted to taste it. So
unfortunately for the visual, her hair was kind of impairing the visual for it, but they were a cool spot. I don't know how much of the people in the ballroom spotted it, but fun.
She was just doing it for herself. Just for the love of the game. Getting worms or whatever you get from those ropes.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Face to face. Both of them went at it. Kick out of the strong zero and then hit with the top rope. Strong zero for the win. All good.
That avalanche pile driver, I mean, she hit it pretty much as good as you can make it look. Looked brutal. And defends her title. I think it's her second defense, if I'm correct. But it's definitely very early on. So we're only ramping up with Toni here. And I was it a missed opportunity to crown Ginny as the first champion?
Not to, you mean?
I guess. Yeah.
Potentially, but I feel like they built her up as such a dominant force that it was almost like everyone was expecting it to happen. And it was a bit of a double bluff situation, wasn't it? I guess.
Yeah, because that was my original thought. I was like, oh man, Ginny should have been the first champion. Like, I feel like she's the most established like character in the women's division in Progress. But at the same time, like, I feel like this reign for Toni, in a weird way, could be a great way to establish her and to almost introduce her to the audience.
It's like that argument that some people need the belt and other people make the belt, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So ultimately, it's probably, I kind of like the path that they're going here, but
even though she didn't actually win the title firsthand, it still feels like she did. Like historically, it just feels like she was the champ for those years that there wasn't one.
Right. So she'll get her due one day. She'll get it. But no, yeah, fun match. I mean, the women's division's a little shallow. I would feel like. I mean, 2017. It's crazy. 2017 feels so recent, but it is really the beginning of like the women's boom in wrestling.
Yeah.
I know. Then like Jordan Grace come in at some point, and like other gals from all around the world. So,
like they booked some pretty big names. Like at that Brixton show that was a few chapters previous to this, it was like Alex Windsor was on that card, Nixon Ewell was on that card, like the big names. But yeah, it was very rare for them to have more than two at most women's matches on the show, so it's very shallow.
Yeah, for sure. But after that, we go to a few Progress originals here. We got the London Riots taking on the Origin, or Banter Edition, I guess is just what they're called now.
Yeah.
Dave Mastiff and El Ligero. Thoughts on so copyright, right, has become a thing. They're transitioning away from copywritten music to like in-house music or like indie music, I guess. So they can no longer use Metallica, which is heartbreaking for me. I mean, that was like the whole thing, So
yeah.
And Dave Mastiff comes out. He's like, "Hey, oh wait, mate, oh wait," or however he talks. He's like, "We just learned about copyright, but I have an idea. When I give you the sign, which is a thumbs up, you all will sing our song." Metallica turned the page for those unfamiliar. How do you think the crowd did?
Shambolically bad. It felt like everyone was just doing that kind of like, but everyone was hoping that someone else would lead, but everyone was doing that.
Yeah, like Ligero even was like, he was like composing, try to keep him on rhythm, but it was just as Dave put it, it went tits up pretty much immediately.
As I was watching it, I was like, I wish Kyle was in this crowd, because I've heard you sing that song so many times on this podcast.
Well, let me tell you, after Here I Am, I'm done. I don't know what's going on. They should have like came out and handed like lyrics, you know, like a program of some sorts, like here are the lyrics to the song, because nobody knew the lyrics. It was just a lot of which they could have even done that, but if it was on beat, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they'll have to think of something else.
It's proof of the fact that us UK folk are really good at coming up with songs on the spot. But can we learn anything? No, we can't.
You guys' chants are like 10 sentences long. Like you could coordinate that, but you can't sing us. Like, I mean, come on, guys, get it together, figure it out. So there's another match where it's two babyface teams facing each other. The London Riots, they have been having like a losing streak, and there's been kind of like some tension between them, but it feels like that just went out the window in this match. Because they ended up winning with the pop-up spear to Ligero. They get the win, so they are no longer on a slump. And then Banter Edition just like, oh, you know, I guess we're still banter, I suppose. So I feel like this was just kind of like, it felt like just like, hey, these guys have been in progress for this whole time pretty much. Let's throw them out there, have some fun. And that felt like kind of the extent of it. I don't know. What did you think about it, though?
Yeah, it was a comedy match. And in terms of comedy, like Ligero and Mastiff smashed it out of the park. I thought they were brilliant in this match. So funny. To the point where actually it felt a bit like the Riots didn't even need to really be out there. Like they felt like a real spare part in this match. It felt like when the Riots tried to like play their comedy spots, it was like, yeah. And then Banter guys would do their spots and it would be a proper knee slap.
I was a fan of the trust fall, though. The London Riots, you know,
that was good.
Mastiff catches Ligero off the apron, and then they each do a trust fall to each other, and then the Riots are like, hey, we can do that too. So Rob Lynch like offers to catch James, and then he gets distracted by a beer and lets him fall. So there was some fun stuff in this one, I thought. Yeah,
like the beer being held during a roll up and not spilling a drop. That was a piece of absolute genius. Also, when Liggs was like, Mastiff, I'll take you on my shoulders. And Mastiff was like, I think it's probably better the other way around.
That's why you have a teammate. You can work through that stuff.
I think that little spot was stolen from, remember Survivor Series 94? When it was Dink, Wink, Pink against Sleazy, Wheezy, and Queasy, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
And Dink was on Doink's shoulders, and then Lawler made one of the, like Queasy or someone, have him on his shoulders. And then he dropped to his knees and dropped him. I was like, that's what they were going for.
I haven't thought about that in so long. You just unearthed the memory. I didn't think Jerry Lawler versus Doink was going to come into play on this episode, but you managed to slide it in there. And you're probably right. It feels like it's right down their alley. So,
but then obviously all four of them are good wrestlers, and like there's still moments of like, oh, that was really good. Like the massive head scissors pop was amazing.
The running Rana, and he hits it, he snaps it off beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Everybody came to their feet.
Yeah.
It's just like, because they were doing like the goofy, like they had Mastiff in an arm wrench, and Dave's just like, oh, okay, come on. You're not going to do anything with that. Just let go. And then he just pops that off. And it's like, oh shit, now we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
like going back and watching this, like I haven't watched the show in however many years it's been, 2017 or whatever it was. Close to 10 years, and watching it back, like, you know, sometimes Meltzer does those things of like, biggest pop of the night and makes like a list of top 5 people on each card. I would argue Banter Edition were maybe second throughout the whole card.
Yeah. CCK being first.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I mean, I can't think of anybody else.
Like, and I think they said on commentary that like, this was their first chapter show in like a few months as well. So it's not like they were like hot at the time.
Right. But they're just so recognizable and like they're just a cult favorite at this point. So you could just throw them anywhere and it'll work. I feel like.
For sure. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was silly bollocks and it was fun.
Silly bollocks. That's right. That's my taste. That's what I need. That's what I look for in wrestling generally. Well, if you thought the silly bollocks was going to end, you're wrong because we got Jack Sexsmith versus Flash Morgan Webster. My goodness. The pansexual phenomenon's back. He was injured in the super strong style, like in the second round or something, but continued to wrestle with his arm in a sling. So he had a very valiant performance in the super strong style. What are your I mean, because he's such like a prominent name at this point, Jack Sexsmith. And I mean, I don't know. What do you think it was that made him like such a big thing, like at this point in 2017?
I think Progress at that time were very prominent in like political causes as well. Like I'm sure that you spotted that the T-shirt that Jim was wearing was like the "Everyone Welcome" with the LGBTQ flag on it.
A lot of flags in the crowd too.
Yeah, a lot of flags in the crowd. It just felt like kind of zeitgeist at that particular moment suited. And the more that he performed, the more the crowd fell in love with him. And I think that as a booker, you can't do anything more than just listen to your audience, right? So I'm almost certain that Sexsmith was brought in as someone that was maybe going to come in for 1 or 2 chapters, and then they were like, "Well, it's working. Let's do what we can."
Yeah, it's interesting because he came in and he was like super like here he's pretty tame in comparison to what he was originally. He was coming out with a gimp. He was wrestling with his tights down and like it was very comedy centric, and it still is, but he is being taken more seriously at this point. Although there still is Mr. Kako still makes an appearance, but I guess like the match is fine. It's another kind of friendly chain wrestling match in the beginning.
Yeah.
Until Flash gets knocked down, Jack reaches out. He's like, "Here, let me pick you up and we'll go back at it." Webster grabs his hand, gets up, and then boom, pump knee, just catches him off guard. Kind of a cheap shot, but I like that. It added a level of intensity to the match.
Yeah.
Mushroom stomp from Sexsmith, which feels appropriate. We got so instead of trading forearms in the middle of the ring, they alternate kisses and forearms. Thoughts?
Silly bollocks.
Is that how you would handle a street fight if you got like into a bar fight? You might throw a kiss at your opponent and see what they do.
You know, but you could throw them off, and then when they look away, you can headbutt them for real, just like Flash did.
Yeah, it is a good technique to at least stun them for a second. So people listening, take that into account.
Yeah, I feel like this match was kind of like it showed 2 wrestlers that are very, very competent in the ring. Obviously, Flash at this point much more of a veteran than Sexsmith. He kind of walked him through this match, but Sexsmith played his part. I think this showed the improvement of his skills. I don't think that he looked too out of place in there with someone as good as Flash. Some of the strikes were really good from both of them. At one point, I think potentially Flash puked in the ring. Did you spot that?
I did not notice that. At what point did that happen?
Like kind of halfway through, like after he did the like flip outside and then like threw him back in. I feel like he literally puked.
Jeez, I need to go back and watch that. This wasn't. He didn't even get Kako in the mouth. That was just pre-cock.
It was pre-cock.
Or was it after the kisses? Did that make, is he just super homophobic and then he threw up? Allegedly. No, he's not, I'm sure.
I really enjoyed it. Like what it was. Sexsmith gets a lot better in the ring as well. As you say, they kind of move him away from being just a comedy character, and they create that kind of fighting from underneath kind of wrestler that can be really successful in pro wrestling as a babyface, to the point where he almost reaches kind of winning gold. But yeah, this is the start of that, I would argue, along with the Super Strong Style, where there was that amazing moment at previous show in Strong Style where the fans threw him back in the ring at 9. Like,
oh yeah.
That kind of proves how over he was as a babyface and how much they want him to succeed. And I guess him losing here would take away a little bit of that. So what happened at the end kind of makes sense.
Yep, it surely does, because again, reaches out, or he hits the stomp, Sexsmith does, reaches into his trunks, pulls out Mr. Kako, which of course is a condom, which it's yellow, which just brings up a lot of questions. I don't know if that's just the color they are over there, or if it's like a flavor. Is it like a lemon flavored deal? I don't know if you have the expertise to kind of provide insight on that.
I would reckon that was a banana flavored one.
But of course, lemon flavor. What am I, an asshole? Of course it's banana flavored. Thank you. Let me note that down for future episodes.
You know, like the Great Muta has different mists for different things. Mr. Coco, when it's different colors. There's a whole lore around it.
I don't even know if you're kidding. I don't even think that could be like a thing. Like yellow stuns him. The black one will blind his opponent.
Yeah.
One of them will get him herpes. Like, but that's something they could dive into if they haven't. Again, another note. I'll note that down as well. Pass that along. But yeah, too much fun. Too much fun is happening. So
too much fun.
I need a fucking sound here. The police sirens hit, the lights go out, and the spotlight comes on the stage, and here is Chief Deputy Dunne, the leader of the anti-fun police, is here to stop all of the bollocks from happening. He's here in his police button up. He had a hat, right? He had a police hat?
Yes, he did.
Or did he just have the aviators? I think he had the hat, right? He had to.
I think he did. For the entrance, at least.
Yeah, he might have thrown it off at some point, but in a megaphone. So he gets in there, gets in the ring, smashes Flash Webster with the megaphone, DQ finish, and then he beats on Sexsmith, the previously injured arm that he injured in the tournament. He smashes Jack's arm with the megaphone, grabs the mic. Also, why does he grab the mic if he has a megaphone?
Great point. A great point.
It seems like a bullshit megaphone to me. He tells everybody there's too much fun happening here in Progress, and the main offender is Jack Sexsmith. And then I forget if it was Callum or RJ. He's like, he confiscated Mr. Kako, which he did. Took the yellow Kako, put it in his shirt pocket. No more yellow Kako for him.
No,
so he's gonna have to find a different color next time, I guess. Maybe this is how the lore starts. He took his yellow away from him, so he's got to find a different tier of cock. So
you know what color it should be for the match at chapter whatever it is.
What's that?
Blue, because blue lives matter.
All right. Blue lives matter. So what you're saying, he's gonna have it now? Dunne is, and it's gonna be blue. So we're gonna have a cock off, a cock fight. Hold on.
There it is.
So, well.
Also, I really enjoyed the tagline that he has, where he says, if no one has any fun, then no one gets hurt. Superb.
Dude, no fun. Damian Dunne is maybe my new favorite character in Progress. He might be carrying the show on his back at this point, which I never thought I would say about Damian Dunne, but here we are.
Just when you thought he was out, he pulls you back in.
Maybe, I mean, they already did the Dunn brothers thing with Pete, but maybe turn it back around. Pete comes back in a hat and aviators. I think that's kind of where we're going. I
don't know if you're going to reach kind of chapter 100, so I'm going to give you a little spoiler here.
Please do.
So it becomes a little faction that he has, the anti-fun police.
Sure. Yep.
With Santos Jr., who's like a big Atlas wrestler type man. Gotcha. And there's a show, I think I've been an unboxing around chapter 100, where it's a 6-man tag, and then the anti-fun police have a mystery partner, which is Walter.
Does he have the getup? Does he have like, the shirt and the glasses and the hat? Man,
something for you to look forward to.
If I do make it to 100, I'll forget by then, and I'll still enjoy it. It lasts 50 chapters. That's crazy. Man, it's gonna in 5 years when I get there, I'll be like, God damn it, Ross told me.
You know how much silly bollocks goes on in this company. There's plenty of time for him to.
I mean, I guess that's kind of what Imperium was, right? Just the anti-fun police. They kind of just carry that over. Love it.
They just rebadged it.
Yeah. So, but speaking of Dunne, we got another one in this next match. We got Pete Dunne in a match here. It's kind of like an open challenge kind of thing, but not really because Jim has somebody planned for him. And his opponent is old Donovan Dijak. Old T-Bar's here in Progress. Come on now, making his debut. I know he's appeared in like Rev Pro a bunch at this point, and like OTT and other promotions, but first match here in Progress. And this is pretty much exactly what you would expect. I feel like Dijak in 2017, I feel like it was like there was this like influx of like big guys that could be athletic and could do moonsaults and stuff, to the point where I think it maybe even got oversaturated. But in 2017, it was incredible to see like him, Pete catches his foot, tosses him up, and Dijak does a moonsault, lands on his feet. So there was a lot of just like flashy stuff from Dijak here, and the classic stuff, the digit manipulation from Pete Dunne. I thought this was pretty solid. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I really, really liked it. Real quick sprint. Not a match that Pete Dunne does a lot of. Pete Dunne kind of matches tend to go kind of 20 minutes
on his food.
Or whatever. So it was kind of a condensed Pete Dunne match, but it was perfect for Dijak. Get your shit in and leave. But yeah, one of my favorite things about this match was just seeing Dijak in that Progress ring. Such a big guy. Like, I made the note that he kind of looks like a Jax wrestling figure in the old Hasbro wrestling ring. Like, he's just too big.
His wingspan is probably the length of the ring. He's not like that. That's why all those British wrestlers are tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So,
but yeah, interested in that. Like, I think Jim Smallman was maybe hoping, definitely hoping, but expecting like a bit more of a pop for Dijak originally. It was still a good pop, but it wasn't like a holy shit, it's Dijak. But within like a minute, everyone was like chanting his name, because they were like, well, who the fuck's this guy? He's amazing. Like in the first minute, he hit like 3 incredible power moves, 2 strikes, and then did that Asai moonsault to the outside. It's like, okay.
Which, I mean, and the crowd is like, I don't know, 3 feet away from the ring. Like, this 7-foot asshole should not be doing Asai moons. He's in the 4th row. He misses Pete. But
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And charm, though.
And then like you get the nice like Pete Dunne stuff where he tries to chop him down, targets the legs. He's like, he's this absolute monster. I'm going to chop him down so that he's down to my size. And you get some nice Pete Dunne kind of technical wrestling stuff. And then Dijak's just like, fuck this, I've had enough of this, and I'm going to strike you with some more stuff, which was great, but also kind of weird in that they really gave Pete Dunne a lot in that match, because even in like the strike battles at times, Dunne was the one that was coming out on top. And I was watching it being like Jim Cornette somewhere watching this, shouting at a cloud.
No, I had a similar thought. It felt like these guys were wrestling as if they were the same size.
Yeah.
But they're very much not. Like, Pete does like the X-Plex to him. He's like throwing them all over the place, and then Dijak's doing the flips. It's like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But
yeah. But yeah, it was like a fun indie PWG type match, I would say.
This was a junk food match, which sometimes junk food's good. Sometimes, in moderation.
Yeah.
It's not a title match or anything. It's like, here's our champion, here's Dijak. Dijak's fun. Well, look at him. He's doing a springboard moonsault. Isn't that wacky?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Dijak hits the feast your eyes, but sends Pete to the outside. And then Dijak follows him up with a Flosberry flop, which, I mean, if you want to call it that, he kind of just throws his body over the top rope and to see what happens. But ended up pretty okay. And then goes for the feast your eyes again. But Pete counters with his teeth around the hand of Dijak, bitter end for the win. And it's always satisfying to see a guy just hit his finisher once and then win.
Yeah.
Feels like it's so rare. Even in 2017, I feel like it's kind of rare. So I like that finish. It was, again, just a good, fun match. Nothing too crazy, but it was fun enough.
Yeah, and also Pete Dunne was clever enough to utilize the small British ring. It was like, you can feast your eyes me, but I'm going to fall out the ring.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's like those old video games when you hit the Stone Cold Stunner and the guy always flip to the other side of the ring. Well, God damn it, now he's by the rope, so just finish it. It's like same kind of thing. So maybe it was just too big for Progress. Maybe that was the thing.
But I would say that it kind of surprised me, having watched that match and saw how much the crowd loved him, that he didn't become a bit of a regular like Riddle and Keith Lee and those types of wrestlers became a bit more regular at Progress. I don't think Dijak really got much more at all, but it feels like it's a bit of a missed opportunity, because when you look through that roster that they had at the time, he could have had fantastic matches with so many people.
I mean, Atlas title reign for Dijak, I mean, that just writes itself, I think.
Yeah. And then how much have we spoken about how much we love that Chris Hero Mark Andrews match? A Dijak Andrews match would have been spectacular.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I know Dijak's, I think he's big at Evolve at this point, back when it was its own thing, not NXT's NXT. But he's all over the place. I feel like he's in pretty high demand. I'm sure he's in like Ring of Honor too at this point and stuff like that. So, but yeah, good stuff. So Pete gets the win, so he will not be defending his title against old Dijak. But
one other thing that I made a note of as well was that I really liked the booking where they were like, we've got 7 shows between now and Ali Pali. It's quite a lot, but nobody's going to really believe that Pete Dunne's going to lose the title because we're setting up Banks and Dunne. So this kind of like gives that kind of mystery to, one, who's he going to face in these non-title matches, and 2, they could potentially make it a triple threat if they wanted to. So it gives that kind of intrigue. Whereas had they just gave Dunne constant title matches, it's kind of like, yeah, they're good matches, but we didn't expect any other result.
Right. No, yeah, that's a really good point, especially because it's a non-title match first, so you could theoretically establish a story with somebody. Because, like you said, you're not going to just have a random guy come in and win the title. You could just have like kind of progress and build, and maybe even a triple threat, like you mentioned. So yeah, no, that's a good point. Can't wait to see who they bring in next. Maybe a Marcus Corvon or something. I don't know. We'll just have to stay tuned.
Your guy.
We'll have to stay. He's going to show up at Progress one of these days. I know it. I'm waiting. If Samoa Joe can show up, so can Monty Brown. Come on now. But man, oh man, we got the co-main events. I think 3 matches left. There's we have a tag team match.
Did you watch the halftime bit?
I did. I did not take any notes. Do you have any thoughts?
With the Legion of Groom, Stag Do.
Stag Do, which I didn't know what a stag do was at first, but then I had to look it up.
Did you notice how blind drunk the stag was?
I mean, it's got to be at least 2 p.m., right? So they're probably just completely blasted.
I think Jim is quite famously teetotal, and you could just tell that he was like immediately like annoyed with himself that he'd started this conversation with this blind drunk man.
The Legion of Groom is a sensational idea. If I ever have another stag do, which hopefully I won't, but if I do, I'll steal that idea. But yeah, so we got it. We come back from the break, from the intermish. I'm sure there's a couple raffles in there somewhere that weren't shown. But we got old Jimmy Havoc teaming with Mark Haskins to take on the Origin Serious version, I guess. Nathan Cruz and Zach Gibson. We got Jimmy Havoc coming off a Tournament of Death victory, which feels very on brand.
Yeah.
Teaming with Mark Haskins, who it's his birthday. So is that's his wife that comes up, right? With the hats,
Vicky, yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
Just the visual of Jimmy Havoc and Mark Haskins wearing birthday hats with the, we call them the blowers.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is my motion. But
What color were they?
Were they yellow? They might have been yellow. Is this all just wow? There's so much layers to this that I didn't even notice. People puking that I didn't notice. There's the color coordination. What was I even doing? But there's kind of been like some like the Havoc and Haskins. They've been in matches leading up to this. I can't remember if they've teamed together or not. But I know they've been in like triple threats and stuff where they've had like they're both like the top guys fighting for the title. So
they both lost in the super strong style, and then they had a tag match outside of the tournament in the previous thing. And I think that they had a miscommunication in that one as well, and that's kind of teasing this. But it's not quite working. Vibe.
Yes, no. So that's kind of the idea here. It feels like, but they're the Origins targeting the back of Jimmy, but not with like. Well, they do suplexes and stuff, but they're just literally just raking his back out, the scars on his back, and it's drawing blood. It's like pretty gruesome. There's another
talking about like back rakes in wrestling. Isn't it mad that one of the biggest baby faces ever utilized it in Hulk Hogan? Like the biggest baby face doing just the dastardliest move.
Well, that's why people say he was always a heel, Hogan. I mean,
Heenan was right. Heenan was right.
Who did he pull out of the Rumble illegally?
Sid.
Was it Sid? Yeah, exactly. Like doing all that kind of shit. This guy. But, yeah, so I mean, Origin, Nathan Cruz, Zach Gibson, solid tag team. They feel like two of the most like grounded wrestlers in the company at this point. And then Jimmy Havoc, Haskins, two guys that at one point were the two hottest guys. I don't know if they necessarily are at this point. But there was some fun stuff here, brawling all over the ring and stuff. A good promo from Gibson also before the bell. Like, what have you guys become? You were world champions. Now you're wearing birthday hats and blowers. It's my Liverpool accent. Dead on. Where's my car stereo is what I always say. A pretty chaotic match, kind of a nonstop kind of a thing. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, so this is, what is it, like a week after Havoc's back from that Tournament of Death match where, like the state of his back was disgusting, and he was just there for, he was booked and he's made the booking, but he was like, I can't move and everything hurts, so Haskins can do all the work, please.
Yeah, I guess he really didn't do much in this match, Havoc, now that I think about it. Just like the brawling, punching and kicking around the ring and stuff. But
yeah, and drank about 4 beers from fans at different points of the match.
He did. He took the bump into the chairs ringside. He's like, I'm just going to hang out here for a bit. Little Hasky do all the heavy lifting.
Little minesweeper.
And he's playing Candy Crush ringside. But again, he's a polite man. He's a friendly guy. So he has a birthday present for Mark Haskins. It's wrapped and everything. brings it out from under the ring, hands it to Haskins. He unwraps it. It's a steel chair. And, by the ref was knocked out at some point. I think it was a funny moment where Havoc and Haskins were beating up on Cruz in the corner, like tandemly, and then the ref's trying to pull him back, and then they both at the same time turn around, clock him. So there's some team cohesion there. So I like that. I do like that. Gibson eventually gets his hands on the chair and tries to do the old Eddie Guerrero spot. But the ref, which I always thought, like when Eddie did it, I was like, what if the ref just like stays down? You just gave your opponent a chair, which is the circumstance that happens here. Havoc lights Gibson up with that chair.
And it was really good that it was Havoc with that chair because he really went to town. It wasn't like, I'm going to give you one shot and that's it. Like, he gave him like 6 shots in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, this was not like, here, let me line you up and hit you with one clean one. It was just it reminded me of Stone Cold at the end of WrestleMania 17, where he's just like stabbing him, and it's like, oh, so good. But ultimately, that chair comes to bite him because Haskins tosses it at Gibson, but Gibson ducks, and the chair nails Havoc. My goodness, miscommunication. And then Gibson rolls up Haskins with the tights right afterwards and gets the quick 1, 2, 3. Tension. Well, at least I thought tension was brewing because afterwards, Havoc's just like, no, that happens, hugs him, leaves. I thought there would at least be like a stare down or like a begrudging, like, I'm watching you kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's really no follow-up on that.
It's a real slow burn, this story. Like, stuff does happen, but like, it takes a long time to get there and the payoff's not great. When I was watching it just as a fan, I didn't massively like this creative for either of them, but I understand, like, you've got 2 former champions. It's hard especially when at this point there was no Proteus titles. There's no like mid-range title. There was the Atlas title, but neither of them are going to be eligible for that. So what do you do?
Eating. Throw a few hoagies in there. Throw a sausage roll in there too. Come on, bulk up, boys.
Yeah. So other than joining the anti-fan police, what can you do?
Well, that's always an option. Havoc would fit in. He doesn't know.
Havoc would fit in.
I think he likes it. He has his own version of fun, so I don't think he's anti-fun per se. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Just an angry goth.
The king of the goths. What do you think of that nickname? It's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
It's not great. But maybe it's because I'm not goth. Maybe if I was goth, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's my king. But
yeah, I don't think goths are really into like royalty.
Are there still goths? I feel like I haven't seen a goth in a while.
You don't live in Camden, do you?
I don't. You're right. I guess they do hide in the shadows. So maybe I'm just not looking in the crevices enough. But yeah, slow burn. It seems to be. I don't know. Is the payoff at Ali Pally in 7 months?
That is. God. It does roll on till then, yeah. It does roll on till then, yeah.
Well, it makes sense that they're moving at a snail's pace. I guess, what else? To your point, there's no other titles to challenge for unless they want to be like a tag team champion kind of thing, which I don't think. I mean, I guess they don't have that many tag teams. I guess that is feasible, but who knows? Well, you do, but I don't. So, who knows? Everybody but me. Everybody that's watched Progress except me. But yeah, we'll see what comes of that. But after that, we got a little ass face on deck. We got James Drake versus Travis Banks. We got Travis, the winner of the Super Strong Style tournament from the previous month, taking on one half of Grizzled Young Vets, James Drake, which is all I can really see when he's. And it's interesting. Like, he came in, James Drake, undefeated, like pretty dominant, and seemed like they were going to kind of do something with him, but it feels like he just lost to Flash Morgan Webster. Wasn't even in the tournament, and now he's fodder for Travis Banks. Do you think they just like gave up on him?
In a singles run, yeah. Obviously, things change when him and Gibson get together. Then alternate universe, do you think Cruz and Gibson would have been a success?
I think they could have been. I like them together. I feel like it almost like they don't feel like they would hang out together like outside of wrestling, but it feels like in a wrestling environment they fit together.
Yeah.
And again, just like Progress is filled with so many like explosive and fun and like hip bibbity bobbity. Like it's a lot of that. Whereas like Nathan Cruz and Zach Gibson are grizzled. Grizzled veterans. Huh? But but James Drake, I feel like also kind of falls into that kind of like
they definitely tried to go down that kind of like Raven type character at the start, didn't they?
And then hair in his face,
that kind of like silent, kind of like menacing guy that was like, oh, he's like sad and angry. That's interesting.
Is it?
Except, hold on, everyone else is a goth here as well.
Yeah, even like looking at like Mark Haskins was in the previous match. They look pretty similar. White guys, long hair, similar builds.
Yeah.
But James Drake is just less exciting physically. So it's like, you're just a shit Mark Haskins. Like, you're just begging for that chant. But
yeah. But why chant anything else other than ass face?
Do you, at what point do you just get different trunks? You know? Just wear black trunks, maybe.
Well, if you just wear black trunks, then you're going to be like half of the other roster.
Yeah, then he really is going to be a shit Mark Haskins. Yeah, you're right. All right. Oh, just fucking write Drake on the back of them, or we're red tights. I don't know, man. I have a lot of ideas, James. I'm on the. You can call me.
Although you would cut off virtually all of his heat.
Yeah, there really isn't much else to grasp for the ass face.
At this point in his Progress career, if you took away the ass face, he's just a face.
He's just Jim Drake. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what he's really good at. That running drop kick. That running drop kick is beautiful.
Grit your teeth. I think it was just like a transition move at this point, but I think it would end up being his finish. Also a lot of forearms in this match from James Drake because he legit broke Damon Moser's jaw.
I would argue Pete Dunne, Travis Banks, and James Drake are equal best forearm in Europe at this point.
In Europe, yeah, for sure. I think he's present day. Konosuke Takeshita has a pretty spicy one, pretty juicy.
He's a spicy boy.
I mean, you should probably have a forearm bracket at some point, maybe a super strong style 16 version of the best forearms in wrestling. We'll write that down.
Well, you know, people like to watch that power slap shit. It's basically that, right?
Power forearm? I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, and then Travis Banks, everybody loves Travis at this point. But to your point, another match, it's like, two pretty good wrestlers in there doing wrestling. All right, it's over. Next match.
It's kind of a strange booking in terms of wins and losses. Like, obviously, the argument of whether wins and losses really matter in wrestling is boring. But
yeah,
as you say, James Drake is on the downward trajectory at this point, and Travis Banks is just one super strong style. So the likelihood of anything other than what happening was pretty slim, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it's to your point. They're not going to have Travis lose on his way to the main event of their biggest show to James Drake, who doesn't really particularly have a lot of momentum going. It'd be different if James was still undefeated at this point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some sort of like, what's going to give kind of thing. But that being said, like
belt to belt was good.
Yeah, great work during this. It was pretty back and forth throughout the entire thing. Love the suplex cutter that James Drake did. I thought that was pretty sick. Of course, Travis Banks are gonna have a lot of kicks and elbows and all that stuff. Kiwi crushers.
One of the best Lopez in wrestling, Travis Banks.
I always when I see Travis Banks, I always draw the comparison to like early Austin Aries, who also had a really good Lopez. Just because they're wrestlers that got hot just by being cool wrestlers.
Yeah, he feels very kind of 2005 ROH. Banks would have fit in really well there.
Yeah, because I'm, in my timeline of Ring of Honor that I do here, like I'm at the point where Aries is about to win the title, And like just a few months before that, he was like in the pre-show, like nobody knew him, but he was like just so cool at wrestling. He became like the guy.
Yeah.
Feels similar to Travis. Travis is just like a part of a tag team, part of like an undercard heel tag team, and now he's like the top babyface in the company just within a matter of a few months. So
yeah. And the stars aligned, and that they're both cancelled.
you know, that's so the similarities never end, is what you're saying. It is on demand progress. It's like James Drake in action.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And yeah, there's a lot of it where it's just like a singles match here.
Yeah.
Everybody involved.
Yeah, some of the cards that they literally it mentions 3 wrestlers.
Yeah. There's ropes. There's turnbuckles. Don't you worry, folks. Oh man, Pete Dunne's here, but
featuring the Legion of Groom. I think you've muted yourself, Carl.
Shit, I had a good joke. All right, ready? You ready?
Go
on. Legion of Groom. That feels like a faction of a bunch of canceled people. You know what I mean? Because they're grooming. You know what I'm saying?
Legion of Groomers.
There we go. We're workshopping it. The universe was trying to prevent me from saying that, but I prevailed.
And now you're cancelled.
Yeah, well, you know, if I'm not canceled now, I'll never be. So, but yeah, Travis Banks ends up winning with a slice of heaven. Gets the 1, 2, 3. I feel like the Kiwi Crusher is a better finish.
I was literally just about to say the exact same thing. I think it does become his finish, doesn't it? I think long term.
Yeah, I think he kind of is like a dual finisher type of guy, but no, slice of. I'm more of a disaster kick kind of guy. I feel like a Cody Rhodes slice of heaven is a little better than his, but it's a time tested question. That's the question everybody always asks. So
yeah.
But yeah, so James Drake loses, and I'm always like, what is the path to him linking up with Gibson? As time goes on, they become more like what I know them as, like current day. But we'll see. But that brings us to the main event. We got the Progress Tag Team titles on the line. British Strong Style, or Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate, taking on a debuting CCK, the team of Chris Brooks and Kid Lycos. Man, first of all, I don't think I've had you on since they've gotten the belts, I don't think.
Well, this is their debut, right? So, yeah.
Well, they've had the belts for a while. The physical like belts, not the shields.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. The shields are no more.
Where do you think they are? Are they still somewhere? Have you seen them?
So there was quite a cool moment at one of the unboxings, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, where it was Sunshine Machine, who were then the current title holders, against FSU. And FSU came out with the shields.
Oh,
and then
sick.
Did like a handover to the new champs. It was pretty cool.
I like that a lot. But
and then Sunshine Machine were like, well, we're not taking them anywhere with us, so thanks, but you can have them back.
My suitcase is not big enough for that monstrosity of a belt, of a championship. But yeah, so we got a debuting CCK. They have made appearances, they've made run-ins and stuff to counteract British Strong Style, because so CCK, who is all, because it's Chris Brooks and Kid Lycos. Travis Banks is also involved, right?
Yeah. Jonathan Gresham is involved.
Right.
Who else is involved? There's quite a few people.
Is that the same CCK? Because I know when Brooks and Gresham team, they're the Calamari Catch Crew.
Yeah.
But what does CCK stand for in this case?
I should probably know this, but off the top of my head, I don't. Let's call them
FSU situation where it's like, I can mean what you want it to mean.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, and so the crowd are still chanting 6 at Trent 7 as they lost in 6 seconds in the tournament the previous month, which is, I hope that stays with them for a very long time. 6-7 is here. Well, 6-7. Hold on.
Hello.
Wait a minute. Hold on, kids. Hold on. 6-7, because his last name's 7, but he lost it. Come on, we're hip. This will go viral. This will be a viral clip. But I mean, this is a chaotic. It's like 12 minutes before the match like technically gets underway. There's fighting all over the ring and by the stage area. There's chairs. There's a lot of hullabaloo. I mean, just opening
There was
thoughts
one
on
of
this
my
one.
favorite commentators spots here where because Glenn does the first and last match, and Glenn arrives back on the scene when the first tope happens, and he screams, and then RJ just goes, "Oh, Glenn's back."
Shout out RJ. Man. There's Trent gets hit with a chair on the stage and it leaves an imprint, which is phenomenal. They're jumping off the stage. Lycos leaps off he gets propelled by his partner into a moonsault off the stage. And Brooks does a running somersault off the stage. And I do like the bit because they're fighting all over the ring on the outside. They like all have to crawl to the ring and they slowly get in there. And then the bell rings to start it. And they're already like gassed and beaten down. And then
the actual match itself, I think, is like 8 minutes long, but the whole sequence of the events is like 22 or something.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there was one tag in this match per se. It's called a tag team title match would be a little generous, but.
So as it's the first time you've seen CCK, what was your first impression?
They were fun. I mean, I've seen the Chris Brooks and Travis Banks iteration, and I've seen Chris Brooks and Gresham, but I've not seen Brooks and In fact, the only Lycos matches I've seen are him unmasked. So I've only seen like recent Kid Lycos matches. But no, he's fun. He's fun. Is he a wolf? Is that his thing?
He's a shit wolf.
A shit wolf. I see. That feels like there's so much lore behind that, but that could be its own episode in itself, I think. But yeah, this is one of those matches where like not only can I not take notes because so much stuff is happening, but I can't even like digest visually what's happening because it's just like balls to the wall from start to finish. But
there was like 3 different sequences where like all 4 were in the ring. They hit single moves followed by tag moves followed by 2 more single moves, and then all 4 just collapse into the ring, and the crowd are just like, "This is progress."
That's their thing. Yeah, they love it.
It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And the good guys win in the end because Travis Banks is the hero and runs off Pete Dunne. It's all kind of tying into, the end of this British Strong Style era where they've just held the company roughshod, and you've got the baby faces pulling for the company that everyone so loves. It's a tale as old as time, but it works.
Yeah, no, it ties in beautifully with the Pete Dunne, Travis Banks match they're leading to, and then you got the 2 associated tag teams and those trios going at it here, and then everybody's involved here. The next chapter, there's actually a 6-man tag between both factions, so there's building up to that. But ultimately, we get a brain buster in the corner from Kid Lycos on Tyler Bate, I believe. And
I was kind of surprised by that. I was like, surely Trent was the one that took the pin, but it's almost like that gives the win a bit more gravitas as well, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean it felt like a big deal. It's so crazy. It's their first match, CCK, and it's a main event title win, which I feel like I wasn't in tune with the scene at the time, but were CCK like red hot at this point, like in the European scene, or I guess just in the wrestling scene?
So like when they debuted in, was it Manchester, I think 2-3 chapters back at the end of the show where they made the save on the Banks, I think like the place erupted, and they'd never been on Progress previously. Like the scene at the time was just incredible. Every promotion was hot. Like No Fun Done coming out to that music, like the crowd popped because they knew who he was, and it wasn't because it was on Progress. It was just doing that gimmick around the UK. It was getting a buzz, and he got brought back in because of it.
like
Right.
the lore of different promotions made its way to different places because people would travel to go and see different shows across the UK at the time. So yeah, like they were over, and they've got some sick fucking tag moves as they proclaim, and they're just like fun, likable baby faces. They've got some fun little bits where obviously Chris Brooks is allowed to do all the talking, and then every time that Lycos is about to say something, they just says, shut up, Lycos.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to this, at least this pair of CCK, but I mean, I was a fan of them.
So that lore still continues to this day, where Lycos will say "Brainbuster," and the crowd just say, "Shut up, Lycos."
Oh. I don't think I picked that up because I have seen a few of his matches recently, but that's incredible. Shut up, Lycos. It's at the climax of the match. It's like the main event of the show. It's this huge moment. Shut up, Lycos. I love it. But
yeah, like we said at the start, like it wasn't like a home run show, but coming off the back of a spectacular Super Strong Style, it kind of carried on the narrative being told from that. You had some cool debuts with Dijak, with CCK, a title change, and plenty more narrative leading into the next match, into the next chapter as well. So lots to enjoy, and yeah, British wrestling was on fire, wasn't it?
Yeah. To your point, you can't really go wrong. I mean, just all the bleed over from promotion to promotion just shows like how hot everything was. And this chapter, it was a solid chapter, but it felt like it was more planting seeds for future ones. And also just coming off of that crazy 3-night tournament, that was, I mean, incredible stuff. So you can only have. I
went through the list of roster members from this show, and like I think it's only No Fun Dunne and Sexsmith that didn't make it onto like international TV.
Yeah, well, I mean, Haskins never really did either, surprisingly.
Well, like,
I guess Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, right? So I kind of count that.
Yeah. Sure.
And he was in TNA. Come on.
Yeah. So was so was Black Rain. So was Relic.
So was your boy Marcus Corvon.
All right, well, let's not. Come on now. Let's not make it like anybody can get it. Like no. Atlas champion Marcus Corvon has a ring to it. I'm just saying. If it's never too late. It's never too late. I think he's still above the weight limit. I would guess. But
well, then let's start the petition for Forearm Championship Wrestling 2026.
Dude, I mean, it's money. Like, just trying to think. Is it the same thing as Power Slap where they just stand in the middle and there's like a table, or maybe it's just like a ring, right?
Yeah, and then it's like
logistics.
8 matches of that. And it gets a bit boring, so during the main event, Corvon just comes in and spears everyone.
But you never know when he's going to show up. So they always have the looming possibility. So they kind of like put some hesitation. There's a whole strategy. It's a whole strategy.
You could be like the 3-minute warning guy.
Wait, like Rico?
Yeah.
I have been compared to Rico in the past, so. More is later iteration with Charlie Haas, but well, speaking of Charlie Haas, that I hossed a lot of time talking about Progress Chapter 50. Always a pleasure having you on, Ross. Where can everybody find you, listen to? Because you guys aren't doing the Wrestling Should Be Fun pod anymore.
Yeah, Wrestling Should Be Fun passed away, but now that I'm out of the business again, there's every chance that we can become a comeback. So if Forearm Championship Wrestling are looking for any, factions.
I mean, it's a possibility. You could do the wheel, you had the randomizer.
Yeah.
What was it called? You had a name for it.
I can't even remember.
Where it's like you had 2 different wrestlers and you had to like build a feud between them. So
I'm pretty sure that yours was like Booker Bingo. That's what it was.
Booker Bingo. It was Conan, I think. It was
Yeah,
Conan
yours was
and some
Conan
lady.
and I can't remember who else it was.
Tamina or something.
It might have been Tamina.
I think it was Conan and Tamina. Everybody go listen to the archives of Wrestling Should Be Fun. They're always, it's a lot of evergreen stuff. I mean, Booker Bingo, you can enjoy that whenever. So,
But yeah, always a pleasure to be asked back on. And I'll see you for chapter 100 when Volta's in Anti-Pumperlist.
you got me and you teasing me. And now I gotta wait 50 goddamn. I'm just gonna start doing 10 chapter episodes, so we can just rush there. I think
Skip forward.
the method. Or just skip it. Just skip. Nothing happens between 50 and 100, right? Nothing. It'll be completely the same environment when I get back to 100, right?
Exactly. Same venue.
Yeah, they're still there, right? It's the same, right? Just a few less of these guys on the card.
Yeah.
You know. You could list all of the guys that wrestle now on the card and have no problems, you know. So, but man, I need a fucking police siren here. The fun's over, folks. But then it was like a siren. Imagine how cool that would be. Hey, you guys, you two are having too much fun on that podcast. We gotta bring an end to it. Cuff them. Cuff them! Jim! Cuff these lads! We have a lot of fun here. We have a lot of fun here on the program. Oh, I'm gonna get too much mileage out of that sound effect. Hey! Once again, thank you to Ross from Wrestling Should Be Fun for joining the program once again. Always a great old time with Rossathan. Go check him out on all the social medias. I'll put all of his info in the description below. Go check out the Wrestling Should Be Fun podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Do the same for me, yada, 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 at Apron Bump, bang, bang, boom. I think that about covers it. That's all Daddy's got for you today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Love you, love you. Big smooches all over that face of yours. I'm hard.
Yeah. And the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest, talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started.